You're listening to the Digitally Irresistible podcast, where we cover the optimization of digital technologies and irresistible people. Brought to you by iQor. Each episode features someone who sheds a little more light on the ins and outs of delivering a great employee and customer experience that has a measurable impact on the business. And now, here's today's guest. Welcome to another episode of the Digitally Irresistible podcast. I'm your host, Bernie Borges. Our guest today is Maria Cristina Castro, also known as Strawberry Castro. Welcome, Strawberry.
Thank you, Bernie. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to sharing your story on this episode. You really have had a short but very impressive career with us here at iQor. You've been with the company for about 5 years. You joined in 2016 in our Talisay facility in the Philippines. And as I said, you've had a very impressive career journey. And I want to showcase your story, not just to inspire iQorians, well, that's the people that the name that we use for people at iQor, but also people outside of iQor as well. So before
Right.
we do that though, Strawberry, I want to ask you, what is the short story behind your name, Strawberry?
Oh, yes. Well, I've always been best known by my nickname. It was a name that quite stuck since I was a baby. My elder sister was a big fan of the cartoon character Strawberry Shortcake. And so she asked for a little sister whom she wanted to call Strawberry Shortcake. And there I was. So
And
it really stuck. Yeah. Especially here in the Philippines, where in every square meter, there's going to be somebody also named Maria Cristina. So my
ah,
teachers and everybody would just love to call me by any other name because there's another Maria Cristina. So
gotcha.
everybody called me Strawberry.
Gotcha. Okay, I love it. Well, Strawberry it is. Well,
Thank
so
you.
so you joined the company in 2016, and the way I understand the story goes is you and two friends were at another BPO, and you came over to iQor. What was that? What's that story about?
Yes, I still remember our account was sunsetting at that time. So it was a really scary time for me and my teammates. Going through my previous center wherein we know that it might go away for tomorrow or what. We weren't sure of our future back then. And then we
And you're
heard
referring to
from.
your previous employer?
Yes, that's the previous
Okay.
employer. We were with a different BPO before iQor. And then we heard from our other colleagues that there's this new call center in town. They are recruiting. They are, offering amazing packages for employees like us, especially with experience. So we thought about, giving it a try. And we started researching about iQor, what's it about, what are the accounts that we'll be possibly handling there. And we applied all together. We went through the whole process together. And you know what? That was back in 2016. Up until today, the three of us are still with iQor.
Fantastic. Now, your first role was as an agent, right? A call center agent?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. How long were you in that role?
I was an agent for 9 months. It was really a different experience. Coming into iQor with BPO experience, it was still different and it was completely new. Being in customer service and a very extroverted account, I did have to adjust my communication skills. I had to brush up on my customer service. So it was definitely fun. Learning about the account, learning about how the culture is with a new company, and at the same time meeting all the amazing people with so much energy and so much passion. It was just really, really amazing.
So what happened after 9 months then?
Yeah, after 9 months with a lot of mentoring and coaching, and like I said, it was just amazing meeting a lot of people in iCore because everybody was just really helpful. I got coaching even from not necessarily my direct supervisor, but her peers and then my teammates and all. So it was just a really good mix of experiences that we brought with us. And then after 9 months, I got promoted to subject matter expert. That was my
Subject
new
matter
role.
expert. So what's that role about?
Yes, so technically I was a walking Google for the account. So I had to make sure that I support the teams and the agents who were taking in calls to answer their inquiries or questions about handling their accounts, handling their calls, and at the same time taking in escalated calls as well. And what was also good was that my managers at that time did not limit me to the role. They started developing me for the next one. So I was getting a lot of coaching and mentoring during that time, and started looking forward to another role as well.
So your managers recognized your potential and started grooming you for that next role. And what was that next
Yes.
role? And approximately when did that happen for you?
Right. Like you said earlier, Bernie, it has really been an amazing journey for me because every year I seem to have a different role. So the next role I got into was a supervisor apprentice. That was the first step moving towards operations and being a supervisor as well. So I started handling my own teams and handling people, managing their performance, managing their scores and their careers in iQor. And that was also the time that, since I was already leaning towards going to leadership roles, um, we have this amazing scholars program wherein agent level, like I was at that time, could enroll in it and start going through leadership training. There were some online courses. There was also live classes. It was just, a lot of information that you could definitely get in terms of being a first time leader. So that was something that I was able to enroll to during that time, and something that was really, really prestigious because it's an award winning program as well.
Yes. Okay. So I want to make sure that we don't lose some of those fine details, Strawberry. So after being in the SME role, you got promoted to a supervisor apprentice role.
Yep.
And then you enrolled in the Scholar program, which for those of you that are outside of iQor, that's part of iQor University, which is an online program available to everyone. But the Scholar program is specifically for agents who want to invest in their career. Tell us a little bit more about what the Scholar program was like for you.
Yes, it was really an amazing program because it was the first time I was given the chance to step into a leadership role, Bernie, and going through that and having all the materials on hand. Like I said, there were online courses that we had to go through for a 6 month duration, and at the same time, there was also um, the leadership training that we had to go through for an entire week. So it was an entire week immersing yourself with the best practices in coaching and sharing, making sure that you do skill transfer when you speak to an agent and whatnot. So it was a really good resource, especially that, again, me coming from a completely agent level, moving into leadership, and it was the first time I had to learn about dealing with different types of people, learn about the culture and whatnot, and making sure that I also put myself in line, not just my agents.
Okay. So then what was next? What was your next role then in your career journey at iQor?
That's the thing. I kind of stalled for a moment there, Bernie. What happened was I was not able to complete my requirements on time. I remember the scholars program ran a span of 6 months. So I was not able to manage my time really well at that time. and I was not able to complete the requirements. So, admittedly, I was taken off of the program at that time, and also off of the apprenticeship program as well, which was really, disappointing. I was really depressed, but what was great was that I was put back to my previous role as an SME.
Okay. Now, spoiler alert. I know because I know your story that we're going to share here. I know that that didn't knock you down. You kept going. So, what did you do next in your career to just kind of keep it going forward here at iQor?
Right. So I was grateful for the fact that I was put back to my previous role. But again, I was really disappointed with myself as
Sure.
well. But that time that it gave me the opportunity to step back, right? So I was able to reflect on the things that I did and the things that I could have done. And at the same time, I went back to my mentors. I was able to get, again, the coaching I needed. And I think what was really most important for me, Bernie, was the fact that I still had, the support. I still had the yeah I still had the support of my mentors, and I was not completely canceled off or written off, to the point that it was December. It was about time that we were about to celebrate our year end party, and it's a really big deal. People prepare for it and whatnot. So I volunteered to be the host for that party because I kind of felt that I need to do something. I need to
Yeah.
prove my worth, or prove my, show my skills. I have other talents as well. So I wanted to do that. And, the fact that they did let me do it, I hosted it with, of course, we had a celebrity guest, but I was so happy to be given the chance to be the employee host at the time. It gave me also my confidence back. It made me feel good that the company still gives me this chance to give back and to enjoy being part of the iCor community and the family. And at the same time, I was given the visibility with other departments as well.
So you volunteered to host the year-end festivities. You did that. You did a great job. It gave you some exposure, some visibility, and then, as I understand it, you went back to the scholar program, right?
Yes, I did. That's the second chance that they gave me as well. Again, like I said, it's really the support system, and the belief of your mentors that you can still
Yeah.
do it. I really do appreciate the fact that I was given a lot of chances, and so I was able to get back to the scholars program. And with that time off, I was able to continue and graduate. Again, I had to pull my resources, and that includes the human resources, my mentors. I asked a lot of help, and I graduated with honors, with flying colors, with the
That's
scholars
awesome.
program.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Um, I really did feel like I had a lot to prove, so I really went out of my way there, Bernie. And then, the most exciting thing that happened was that I've waited for this for so long. I've always wanted to be a trainer, and finally, the training team posted a job opening. And so again, I asked myself, can I do this? Would I be given another chance to take this on? And I again went back to my mentors. I asked for advice. I asked for, a lot of coaching, and I really prepared because I had to go through the interview again. I had to do a demo teach. So I went through all of that, and you already know it. They gave me the chance. I was able to be part of the training team.
Fantastic. Well, of course, I knew that, but those that are watching, those that are listening, they're hearing that for the first time. Maybe they kind of, speculated that we were headed with that great news because
Mhm.
of your journey has been such an inspiration. Okay, so you graduated from the scholar program, you applied, you got the trainer job. Then what? Where are you now in your role at iCor?
Right. It didn't stop there. The training team gave me the skills I needed. Again, there's also a trainer certification program that we went through. I am currently on level 2, and I am looking to complete my level 3 as well in the next month. But it's really something that iQor offers our leadership team, that we have all of these training in place so that we could be the best that we could be. And at the same time, this is really, given all the chances and everything that I have learned from my experiences, I was really able to um, step up, prove my worth, show, give the best that I can in my role. And so, for this year, I was just recently promoted as a training manager. So I am currently handling the frontline leadership development of our site.
That is so fantastic, Strawberry. That is really, really impressive, very inspirational. So, congratulations to everything you've accomplished. And I love the fact that you shared, the vulnerability of the experience you had where you didn't finish the scholar program the first time around. You learned a lesson from that. You went back to your mentors. You got the coaching you needed. You got the confidence boost you needed by hosting the year-end event. You got the opportunity to become a trainer, and now more recently, a training supervisor. And by the way, I want to call attention for those that are watching and listening. If you want more information on our trainer certification program, go back and watch episode 2, where our featured guest was Therese Grant Shelton, who runs the trainer certification program. That entire episode is devoted to explaining what that is and how that works. So fantastic. Such an inspirational story. Let me just ask you one more quick question and then the final question. What advice would you want to give to anyone who's either considering coming to work for iQor or just anyone outside of iQor also on their career journey? What advice would you offer?
Well, first, for somebody who's looking to join iQor, that will be the best decision you'll make in your entire life, as it obviously has been for me. But for everyone out there, whether you're looking to joining us or not, just be open to learn. I think that was the best thing that I have done. Moving into my agent role when I first started, I did have experience from my previous center. Bring that experience with you as well. It's always great to share your best practices, and there's always no better teacher than experience after all. So bring that with you, but at the same time, always leave space to learn a little bit more, because we can never stop learning, and that's when you'll be able to improve and be the best version of yourself.
Fantastic. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Strawberry. Well, as we wrap up here, my final question, as you know, is Strawberry, when you are not working, what do you like to do for fun?
Oh, yes. Well, I grew up with my sisters. There is another one after. So there's three of us girls, and we've always, we grew up together, and up until now, we love spending time together. So it's always us going on trips, be it a shopping trip, beach trips, or even food trip. So we always take my son along with us as well. He's like our the brother that we never had. So my teenage son comes with us most of the time, but when it's just the two of us, we do share a love for rock music. It's rock all throughout the decades. He's that amazing. He could relate to my music as well. So it's either we're making our videos because he plays the guitar, or we would also share a love for fantasy adventure books.
Wow, that's a lot of variety of lots of things that you love to do for fun. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Strawberry, thank you so much for just taking the time to be here, sharing your inspirational career journey story at iQor. I know that it's definitely something that a lot of people will be inspired by, and I just want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you for having me and for giving me this chance to share my story. I really do hope that we could get more people to join us and also see their careers flourish with iQor as well.
Thank you, Strawberry. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Digitally Irresistible podcast, where we cover the optimization of digital technologies and irresistible people, delivering a great employee and customer experience that has a measurable impact on the business. Brought to you by iQor. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast player so you don't miss future episodes.